What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Karura. Now, Karura has obviously plummeted in market cap, so it is very low cap. I've taken a look at some of the data actually that I don't think anyone's looking at in terms of users for Karura, and some stats are quite interesting. Now, I'll talk about what I think Karura can do, but it's going to be dependent on a couple of good developments along with a growth in user base. I'll explain that. And also, guys, there's some partially good news, I guess, for those people that have been affected by FTX, which I'll talk about in this video as well. Before I get into it though, guys, if you are new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I spoke about on this channel, and also the ones that I owned when I made the channel. Had you just put in $100 into each of these coins when I release videos about them, and then you sat on them for 2 years, you did everything wrong, you ignored them, you just forgot about your investments, lived your life, even doing everything wrong, you would still be in profit for a little over 8 grand, and that's doing everything wrong from a $2,600 investment. That's not too bad. But if you'd sold these coins last year like I did when the markets flew up, $100 into each, a $2,600 investment across 26 coins would have netted you a profit of 123 grand. Big difference. Now, as I said, I sold all these off, so they're not what I own anymore. If you want to see the coins that I own right now, you can go to copymycrypto.com. There's a link above, but there's a clickable one in the description. It's where I share my portfolio. It's where I give the members updates anytime I buy or sell a coin. We release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. We have tutorials that are set up for beginners, because we've got thousands of members and a lot of them haven't invested in anything before. And guys, we have a history of success on the channel and on the site, not least of which is obviously Phantom. No one in 2020, not a single crypto YouTuber out there, was talking about how good Phantom was in 2020. I created one Udemy course ever in my life, and it was called The Best Cryptocurrency Investment of 2020, and it was about Phantom. I said it would 100x or more. Ended up doing 677x. So if you'd have put in, from when I found it, so if you'd have put in $1,000, you'd have been able to buy a very nice house, but $2,000 would have netted you 1.3 million, which is not bad. Now I'll find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm not going to do a Udemy course like last time. I'm going to go onto my site, I'm going to tell my members about the coin, I'm going to tell them what gains I think it can have, and I'm going to tell them what percentage of my money I'm putting in. If that interests you and you want to take the work out of your crypto investing for the year, then go to the site and have a look. And remember, everything that you read on the site, you can verify yourself on the YouTube channel's history. Right, Karura. Okay, so Karura have a strong team, like their founding team have got a damn good history. The co-founder of Akala and current CEO of Lamina Protocol is Rui Tao Su. Sorry if I'm butchering that. And prior to that, he was the CTO of Centrality. He's also an award-winning software engineer and entrepreneur. Bet Chen is also a co-founder at Akala and the COO at Laminar. She's experienced product manager and entrepreneur. And you've got Brian Chen, who's another co-founder. He's also the co-founder and CTO of Laminar. And Chen is a major contributor to the Substrate code base and a Polkadot ambassador. So they've got a nice history of success behind them, not least of which is the fact that they created both Akala and Karura. Now, Karura has hugely capitulated in price in terms of where it was at this year or last year. It reached heights of like $13, so it's nearly it's about 90th or something of what it was. And you can only really look at it and go, that's quite goddamn bearish. It did launch it launched in the sort of run in between the first and second wave of the bull cycle in 2021. And in that sort of second wave, had a really good run up in September, and then obviously 2022 was just bearish the whole year, and then properly capitulated in price. Now, Karura is heavily invested in by huge names in this space. You've got Coinbase Ventures, you've got Pantera, you've got Polychain. Actually, as well, Grayscale have backed Karura, which is obviously a very, very good sign. Now, Karura itself is all about DeFi. Is a DeFi platform. The whole thing is be an all-in-one platform where they can do swapping, borrowing, lending, earning, all with micro gas fees. But the Karura token fuels all the transactions that you do. Also, quick note that majority of the supply is out. That's always a good sign. Karura actually won, I think, 4 Web3 grants. I think it said somewhere 4 Karura was created by the Akala Network, which has won 4 Web3 Foundation grants. Karura and Akala also have their own grant system in place, as well as obviously they're part of Web3. So they're really looking at growing this, and that's important because it does need to grow. But Karura itself looks pretty strong. They've got nice features within their sort of swap or within their DEX. In terms of users, what's quite interesting, because I've had a little look with some data analytics, but they're only getting about 25,000 users per month. They've had a real surge in Europe. We've seen like a 500% increase in the amount of people using Karura from Germany. We've seen about 200% increase in the amount of people using Karura from Spain. I think about 100% increase in people using Karura in Ukraine. So we're seeing at least a surge in terms of user base in particular regions in the world. Month on month, it's not really grown. It grew a little bit from November to December, but October was a better month than November. So it's like it's kind of growing, but we need to, always worth tracking that data, because the data is the key to how they're performing. And in terms of what's next, at the moment they still don't have the functionality of lending and borrowing yet, as far as I'm aware. You can start minting artificial USD on the Karura, which is pretty cool. They've also got a bridge. They utilized a wormhole a while ago. Now they've got bridges so that you can go between, plenty of chains. You can go from Karura to, say, Kusama or Bifrost or Moon River or whatever you want, which is quite nice. Again, good features, sensible features. And look, Karura's doing okay, but it is staggered hugely. I mean, in terms of price, maybe we're going to get back to sort of $3 or $4 for Karura. I'm not actually expecting it to, go back to $10 or $12. However, there is always the chance, because DeFi is inevitably going to have a huge run after the fallout of FTX, of BlockFi, of Celsius, of Voyager, just to name those 4, right? So Karura is inevitably going to have that sort of run as part of the DeFi world. But I would like to see better features. I would like to see a fully operating one-stop shop for DeFi. And if that becomes the case for Karura, of course it can do more. But the user base has to grow. And the user base right now, for me, 25,000, sort of visits per month is not enough. But it's sort of what I'd expect for a market cap of 13 mil. But that is going to have to grow for the overall price of the token to grow long term, because if it's being used, it's going to grow. And they're behind where they need to be in that regard. So need to grow the user base, need to grow the platform, need to be the one-stop shop for DeFi. And if they can do that, yeah, maybe back up to $3, $4. If the user base can, if the user base of the site grows, doubles, I'd expect the price to do more than a doubling, really, because the users are starting to grow. But no, I mean, in terms of like hitting $13 or something like that, its previous high, I think it's probably never going to happen, purely off of the basis that it's too big a jump from where it is right now. But maybe $3 or $4. You know, I make the argument for $3, $4 right now because of the price capitulation. I thought it would do more, you know, a few months ago, but now I'm less and less bullish on it because the user base is not big enough. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of 25,000 users per month? What do you think about the particular surge in countries that are, or users from particular countries? Does that have any impact for you on Karura? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button as well. The videos will make you money. You don't want to miss them. And guys, if you want to see my current portfolio, like I say, you can go to copymycrypto.com. It's where I share all my holdings. I give my members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell a coin. So when any changes I make to the portfolio, they're made aware straight away. We release content on a daily basis talking about the markets. Tutorials are set up for the beginners of crypto investing. These are step by step. And guys, again, history of success on the channel, history of success on the site. No one, and Phantom is the biggest example of that because no one was speaking about it in 2020 other than me. And you can go through plenty of the crypto YouTubers out there. Channel, go back to 2020 and you'll see no one was talking about Phantom. But that was a dedicated Udemy course by me where I said it would 100x or more. And when I find the next one, I'm only going to go on about it on the site. I'm going to tell the members about it, the gains I think it can have, and the money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy along, they can. And if it interests you guys, like I say, go check the site out. Remember, you can verify everything you read yourself on the YouTube channel's history. And last thing, guys, look, if you got burned by FTX, there is positive news for the majority of people out there, because I'm sure most people don't want their names out there, but FTX users will be kept secret for now. Doesn't mean that's always going to be the case, but right now, your identity and your private information is going to remain the case. Obviously, we saw what happened with Celsius fairly recently, where all the users their names got out there because of the court judgments. And right now, FTX, the court has ruled that the FTX customers will remain secret for at least another 3 months. But that does mean there is a chance that your details as a customer of FTX will come out 3 months later. And the other piece of news is FTX Arena. Obviously, they've lost their naming rights. So it's been announced that FTX Arena will be renamed, and the judge has given permission for officials in Florida to remove all their branding off of the stadium that used to be called the Miami. Well, what was it? The Heat Arena? I can't even remember now. But yeah, so FTX, so Sam Bankman-Fried continues to have problems, but which is always nice at least. And that's it from me, guys. Hope you're doing well. Take it easy. Bye-bye.